Hey, Kiro. How are you?
Let me see into your past. Remember your past.
Hey, whoa, what?
Insomnia? Oh, well. Sorry to hear that. Too bad you don't live in the States, Kiro. Could introduce you to some... My family is friends with some, like, What am I gonna do when I 100% Hades? Oh, I'm gonna hit up, we're gonna switch to a new game. We're gonna play, we're going to... let's start with Demeter this time, actually. We're going to play, Horizon Zero Dawn. That's our next project. Hold on a second.
Just go, pal. You can do it.
Let me double check what prophecies I have. Oh, just harsh conditions, huh? So, okay, so let's try turning a bunch of different stuff on. Hey, Galen, how you doing? It has been a... Let's just do like those three. Well, I actually like the improved difficulty bosses. Wait. Do I have to beat a run with heightened security? Or do I have to just have it on? Heightened security. No, I have to win. Oh gosh. Okay, so let's only turn on like a couple. I don't wanna bust my balls here. Okay, so let's just do the bosses, heightened security. Ooh. And maybe we could do one more. Maybe customs. We could do calisthenics. More health. Yeah, let's do that. That'll work.
Time to go.
You know, it's been kind of a hard weekend, I think. I can't get into the specifics, but there's been some unfortunate news in my home, so we're kind of having a hard time right now. It's not I'll say it's not health related, but it's bad news. But we're dealing with it.
There we go.
Yeah, an awful weekend. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Joel. Hey, Mydros, what's up, my dude? But like I said, I and everyone in my family is physically okay. You know, there's just some emotional stuff going on, but we're all right. And it's been a very, very long day. So I'm happy to finally be back in my chair.
I find that it is difficult maintaining my connection with many consciousnesses, such as yours and that of the goddess Nyx. Yet I am also finding that this difficulty is fully warranted. Our connections give me much to consider as I await our next exchange.
But yeah, I hope you're all doing okay. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Solter.
Let's see how this goes.
2020 has been a year. How are all y'all doing?
Let's see how quickly I can slay you all. Burn.
Oh, Jawal, I'm so sorry to hear that, my dude. Everyone send good vibes his way. Their way, sorry. His, her, one of the two. But, sorry to hear that, dude. Hope you're doing alright.
More to fight.
2020 is just going to do everything it can to drag out as long as possible, I feel like.
Grandmother Demeter.
The mark of chaos is upon you, isn't it? A force older than I. Yet one which you ought not trust so readily. No rhyme or reason to that one at all.
I assume your mom was your grandmother's daughter. That never gets easier, man. You know, I think one of the things my mother told me when I was little, both of my mother's parents passed away a very long time ago. And one thing that she told me that I will never forget, is she said, you know, she essentially said to me that, you know, something that is hard to explain is that no matter how old you get, you know, for a lot of people, you know, not everyone is close to their parents. Some people, unfortunately, get really shitty parents, in which cases it may not apply to them. But, you know, for a lot of people, losing your parent is, you know, it's an inevitable part of life. But, you know, it's one of those things that you're never too old for that to, you know, you're never too old to suddenly realize, you're basically an orphan at that point. You know, when you lose a parental figure,
Lord Ares.
doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how long it's been, that's always gonna bite. It always sucks.
It is my understanding that you have grown rather close with Thanatos, my kin. A perfect choice of mate, though I confess I'd not expected Death to have affection for another save himself.
Wow. You think I got the worst cast? Okay, I'll change it. Yeah, I'll change it. I wasn't I thought it was just gonna give me frost. I didn't realize it was gonna, like, cause the lasers to appear at the end of it. Grab urge to kill.
The will to fight.
No, we're getting a lot of attention from Ares, apparently.
Fountain chamber. In the name of Hades.
That being said, ooh, okay. Well, you don't have to ask me twice. I hope you're all hanging in there. I know 2020 is a year that seems to be doing its absolute damnedest to break all of us, to break our wills. But I say, fuck 2020. We're gonna keep hanging in there, and we're gonna keep pushing back. You hold that goddamn line, soldier. Sooner or later, this year will die too.
Let's go, lads.
And I'm gonna celebrate like there's no tomorrow when it does. You know, business-wise, it's been a good year for me, I'm not gonna lie. But there's been just so much other crap. Actually, you know what? It has been a bad year for my family. I lost my last.
A curse of chaos.
When I really
has
think
expired.
about it, you know, I lost my last grandparent this year. I sound a little too low. It's probably because I'm talking softly. Here, let me. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Oh, it's because the desktop audio is like really, really loud. There we go. Sorry, I'm speaking softly. It's like I lost my last grandparent, and then we got some other bad family news.
Thanatos, isn't that right? A real broody sort. Sometimes I think maybe I ought to just invite him to a feast, but then what if he cools the whole thing down, makes everybody kind of you know?
Let me know if that sounds better, guys. I really like Positive Outlook, actually.
Phew, that's good.
It's one of those abilities that when you start playing the game, you're like, oh, I don't think that's that great. I shouldn't be at low health. And then once you get good at the game, you're like, oh, no, I'm going to be at low health, like, all the time. I need something good to, like...
Time to collect.
That being said, I am very much looking forward to my Broken Realms book arriving. I will admit that I'm a little angry that they haven't shipped it yet. Doesn't look like it's going to ship till tomorrow. I haven't worked in the last 2 weeks, and I'm finally getting to go back tomorrow. I was starting to worry financially. Well, Solter, I'm really, really glad you're able to go back tomorrow. So hopefully you can get, get a more stable situation going. But I'm also sorry that you got put in such a bad position in the first place. I hate that when people are. There are a few things that get me going faster than when people are put into a bad situation for things out of their control, you know?
I'll just take that.
Kiro, I think that's a very positive way to look at it. I don't know that all people would necessarily agree that that's necessarily a list of positives, but I'm glad that you're taking a
What's in the pool this time?
positive lead towards it. I get rerolls if I go right, but I get max health if I go left. Let's go left.
Allow me, boy, to introduce some of
Oh,
my subjects.
you had to deal with one of the cyber attacks.
Caught me.
That sucks. I'm glad that hopefully it seems to be over then.
Your dust.
I wish there was a way in these rooms to tell which enemies give you gold when destroyed and which ones don't.
Worthless.
Because there's no way to, like, tell. Some enemies do, some enemies don't. Because I think it's like the enemies that come out right at the beginning give gold, but then when they respawn, they don't, because the point of the room is to survive as long as possible, so there's, like, endless enemies, and they don't want you to just farm it. But I wish they made it a little more clear.
Prince said,
Hello, sir.
How you doing, Sisyphus?
Prince said, my understanding is the Queen herself is back. Is that correct? Moreover, I have heard a truly fascinating rumor about her.
That I'm her son. It's true, sir. And she's back with us for now, indeed. think we're all still getting used to it, but it feels good having her in my life.
That's wonderful to hear. I'd always heard good things about that one. No wonder such a quality runs in the family.
Oh, you sweetheart. Did y'all just hear him freaking being all sweet?
Got just the thing.
Thank you, mate.
Aphrodite. Okay.
Until next time, all right?
It's you or me, fishies.
So,
You're mine.
some exciting news is that we basically found out from Games Workshop that Blood Bowl 3 is going to be starting their public well, it's not public, but their beta that's very easy to get into very, very soon.
How you must yearn to reach the surface, little godling. It likewise stirs in me a yearning to assist you by all means at my disposal.
Ooh.
Strength and beauty.
Epic heart attack strike. That's how you do it. Ah, Lizardman, I'm so excited for when you get to go home, dude. I know that's been really important to you.
I can use this.
Well, I should have done that first.
Let's see what else.
Hey, this actually makes my crystals not terrible. Hoping for a DLC announcement soon. I think. Not that. I think that's a good hope to have. Is all I have to say to that.
I'm back, ladies. Oh, sorry that you couldn't make the feast back at the house, Tisiphone. Though I don't really think it was your kind of scene. Although Ares was there, he's probably done some murders, right?
Murder? Murder. Murder!
Salter, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, dang it. The crystals stop when they hit somebody. So I have to purposely miss. Ow. Please die. Jesus. This build is terrible. This build is terrible. Oh hey, we unlocked Tisiphone's. We're done with Tisiphone. Nice. You've never heard of this game before? Oh dude, this game is amazing. It's I wouldn't call it a bullet hell.
The Furies seem incapable of thwarting you.
There are bullet hell type enemies. Let's go see Artemis. But the game in and of itself is not it's a roguelike is the only way I could think to describe it. It's an action RPG roguelike, and I don't want to spoil too much. If you're gonna play it, you should try and oh yeah, good point. I should get rid of Cold Embrace. Thank you. If you can, I would highly recommend playing this game, and I would highly recommend going into it as blind as possible. I went into this game knowing virtually nothing, and it was a beautiful experience. I'm pretty much done with the game. I'm only doing like a couple little things now. Yeah, it's also quite cheap. It's by Supergiant Games. It's probably going to be the game of the year on most people's. Anyone who's played it, I think, will have it as game of the year. Yeah, honestly, even if you get a lot spoiled for you, there's so much in the game. It's virtually impossible to have all that much spoiled unless you literally watched an entire playthrough. I mean, I've put in, I think I'm almost at 90 hours in this game. How's this run going? Eh.
Any other boons for me?
Very well.
The extra crystal wouldn't be bad. Yeah, let's take that.
I can handle this.
Ooh, Eurydice.
They're both here.
Guess what we've been up to lately, hon? Now, if you'll excuse us.
What? Take that one. You've been playing Smite a lot recently? Cool, cool.
Until next time.
Well, see ya.
I should play Phasmophobia. I'll pass. I could see myself maybe playing that game with friends once it's like all the way out. I don't think I have a super big interest in it right now because it's in early access, and I tend to avoid early access games. Am I gonna get a PS5? I don't think so. I've never been much of a console gamer, and I mean that's a lot of money. Oh gosh. These guys are kind of a pain. Jeez. Woo. There we go. Now I got it under control. Ow. Jeez. Okay, I've got it under control. Immediately takes like a bunch of damage. Yeah, the Witch's Coven, which is this fight, it's considered a mini boss.
That takes care of them.
This is like one of the worst fights in the game, because like if you don't have like a ranged weapon, it's just like you instantly lose.
Say, that's the bow stepmother Hera herself once wielded, isn't it? Her aspect of Coronoct. I'd know it from the, frankly, rather sinister skulls all over it. It's very Hera, trust me.
Ooh.
Ooh. Hmm. I think I'm tempted toward pressure points.
I'll make every strike count.
Hopefully we get through this run in one piece, because right now I have the penalty on where I take bonus damage from lava and traps, and it's the worst. I hate it, and I want it gone. It's like I'm never going to turn it on again for a run, because it is just nightmarish. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, my big issue with consoles, the only console I have is a Switch. And the only reason I bought a Switch is because it's relatively cheap, and you can, it's portable. You know, I can play it on the plane, I can play it, like, in my bed before I go to sleep at night, you know, just get, like, a little bit of Mario or Breath of the Wild or something. And I grew up as a Nintendo gamer. Like, Nintendo was my console growing up. So, like, you know, I have a big love for the series and all that. But, like, PlayStation, I'm just like, it's so expensive. Like, I could maybe see myself getting a PS5 if I figure out how to stream consoles. But even then, I would wait until it calmed down. For you. Ugh, these guys are the worst. They just run away from you.
You lived through all of that.
Okay, we're back to full health.
And my key.
The Wii was the shit, dude. I love the Switch. I absolutely adore the Switch. I love a lot of the games I've played on it. Fire Emblem was a lot of. Ooh, I'm gonna get the double. Fire Emblem was a lot of fun. Breath of the Wild was amazing. Yeah, I've had a good time. I'm still so excited for Breath of the Wild 2. Oh my god. I hope that game is everything I want it to be. It would be very easy for them not to meet my expectations. Well, I wouldn't say my expectations. I think it's going to be a great game. But there are some story things I really want to happen.
How thoughtful, Zagreus.
Oh, rare crop. Epic level.
Am I some kind of pushover to you, Zagreus? Is that what you think?
Like, oh, I am such a hardcore shipper of Link and Zelda in that game. It is not even funny. Like, normally, like, I'm not someone that tends to get really hardcore when it comes to shipping, except for Breath of the Wild. That game, I'm like, if those two cinnamon buns don't end up together, I'm gonna be really upset. I'm gonna be very upset. I also hope that the biggest thing for me is I want the two of them to like, I want the game to show me them ending up together. Like none of this, and I hope it doesn't happen at the very end of the game too. I hope we get to see like their relationship develop over the game, because I had to spend the entirety of the first game learning a lot about Zelda, but you don't really get to interact with her until the very end.
My Chaos Boon evolved a new effect.
So I'm sitting here like, I want to be able to interact with Zelda through the experience. B, I want to be able to see. I don't want Zelda to get captured at the beginning of the game. Like, I'm really hoping that Zelda is either like your companion in a lot of the game, or you go back to the base to talk to her for a lot of the game, or she maybe was even playable in certain parts of the game. I just want her to be involved. Which is why I'm really excited in 5 days for Age of Calamity. Like, I'm gonna play the shit out of that.
You know what? I decided not to kill you, Zagreus. No sport in cornered prey, so here, get on with it.
You play as Zelda and Link gets captured. I'd be down for that. I'd be down. I wouldn't even be mad. I would be like, alright, let's do this. Like, that, I think that game world has the best iteration of Link and Zelda ever. Period. End of story. There's a lot of games that have good, have pretty good Links, pretty good Zeldas, but usually not the same. Or like there are different relationships I really like in the game. Like I really, like I loved Twilight Princess. I love every single mainline Zelda game I've played. Like every single console Zelda game I've played in 100%ed, and I love all of them. But like I've never been as sold on Link and Zelda as I was for Breath of the Wild. Now, Link and Zelda, you know, they do end up together at the end of Skyward Sword, but oh god, that game was so long.
I'll take it.
Sure.
Cooled me off.
AC Valhalla? Is that game good? Which ones is Rare Crop upgrading? Urge to Kill, Ares Aid, and Heartbreak Strike. Which one's Urge to Kill? Oh, damn! Okay, we got, like, the best things are being leveled up by, Rare Crop. I wish the new Elder Scrolls would release.
The fact that I need to kill